And welcome back to part 8 and the final part of What If Naruto had a Zanpakuto, the Kyoka Suigetsu edition. Last time, the next great shinobi war was declared. Sasuke's still in the village, but Orochimaru isn't happy with this either. Also, Danzo is not happy because obviously Danzo would at this point would have tried to weasel his way into the Hokage spot. But Tsunade is still very much okay, and they took care of Pain. And the village is actually more or less safe. And yeah, Danzo is just such an arrogant asshole. So the question becomes, what happens now? The prep, essentially, for the war, now it's been declared. And that is a very good question. Naruto, I think, would still be not put out to pasture, that's not the right word, but he would still be put on the island, whereas Sasuke would be put onto the battlefield. Naruto would say, no, I can fight. It's like, we know you can, but it's also dangerous to let you right now for you to be out, at least not without control of the Nine Tails. And that's something that Naruto kind of has been hesitant on. Even Kyoka Suigetsu herself just looks like, Naruto, I hate it. It stops and says, Naruto, before he starts to argue back, I hate to agree with them. I don't like you using the fox's power, but they're not wrong. The fox is many things, but a great source of power is definitely one of them. It's a power that you need to learn to control, especially if the Akatsuki are going to be after you. Yeah, even my power is not absolute, despite what it sounds like. Naruto just doesn't like it. This time, Naruto knows why he's there, and knows that we're fine. But when I gain control of this power, I am joining the front, Tsunade. That's the agreement. And Tsunade, knowing she's not going to be able to argue against Naruto, agrees. And admittedly, she agrees. This isn't her trying to play him. This is her agreeing. It's like, no, we will need you. But for now, you need to stay safe. You need to get stronger. To which Naruto reluctantly agrees. Okay. So, Naruto gets sent to the I meet Killer Bee. Hey, what's up, my dog? My dog. What's up, little man? Give me your hand. 5-5 now. To keep me waiting. And then, yeah. And so Naruto tries to confront Darkseid, kind of fails the first time. Actually, that'd be kind of fun. Could this Darkseid also have his version of his Zanpakuto, and therefore he's Kyoka Suigetsu on him? I never even thought of that. That's a really interesting question. I didn't think about that, because he is a manifestation of Naruto's soul in some way. Yes, and the Zanpakuto is connected to him. Yes, actually. So, I mean, eventually he'd be released from his own Kyoka Suigetsu, because it is still just his Kyoka Suigetsu, which would actually mean that both these guys essentially are using Kyoka Suigetsu against each other, and essentially can just release themselves out of their own Kyoka Suigetsu. So that makes Kyoka Suigetsu actually completely null and void in this fight, because they're just going to keep breaking each other out of it, and they're both going to find that useless and exhausting. But eventually Naruto would, come to terms with Darkseid and go into his inner mind, his inner world. And he's Kyoka Suigetsu there. Kurama sees it there. And because he's been able to listen thanks to Kyoka Suigetsu, he knows, you really think you can take me, brat? You'll take my power against you. One way to find out. And he's about to go after him when that hand comes in. Because in this scenario, Naruto didn't meet Minato during the Pain invasion, which means A, Minato's still in there, and B, he's got more energy, he can stick around for a while. And so him and Naruto get this, like, Dad? It's like, Dad! It's like, hey, Naruto, why would you do that? Why would you do that to me? I'm sorry, Naruto. I guess it's okay. Now, because he has time here, he doesn't have to redo the seal. He can sit and actually talk with Naruto. It's like, wait, hold on, Naruto. If we're going to do this, we got to do this right. And he just uses a little bit of the power he has. And there, they put her foot, says, like, Minato? Wait, is this the afterlife? What are you? And her eyes go, Naruto, my little boy! Wait, Mom? It's like, it's good to see you, honey. He's like, you idiot! Just, what's going on here? I was supposed to come after you! What's this? I'm sorry. And they explain it. It's like, I see. So that's what's going on. Oh, my little boy, no. My little man, you really are just, you really are so much like me and your father. He's like, Mom, and you. And she sits down and she notices the woman, says, and you, and she notices the sword. Archie, you found the Uzumaki blade after all. Wait, Mom, was this your blade? My blade? No. I was tasked with bringing it over, but I was never able to resonate with the blade, like the former user was. I'm glad you were able to find it. It's something the Uzumaki cherished very much, and its powers definitely is something of its own. You know that. Kyoka Suigetsu and I have been through a lot. Don't know what I'd do without her. And Naruto, you're making me blush. And I was like, oh, it looks like we got a little girl. No, she's my friend. And even Kyokusu gets like, no, we're just friends. We're just friends. And they just all have a laugh. And so they just have family bonding time, which is pissing Kurama off. Like they just, Kyoka Suigetsu, it's like, hold on. It's like, you little, oh, what did you do like that? And like, I can't say, what's going on? Like she basically just cuts off the fox from them using his senses. Like, and so they have a good conversation with each other. They both agree. Ultimately, it's time. Naruto, since I don't have to undo the seal, we can aid you a little bit, and we can aid you to some degree in this fight. We can't win and fight it for you, but we can help you out. It's all right. It's all right, Dad. I got it. Mom, you ready? Let's do this. Kyoka Suigetsu, just smile. Undo the fox. Now, luckily, Naruto is using Kyoka Suigetsu to basically Suigetsu to blind and deafen the fox. Like the fox just doesn't know what's going on. But the fox is a very capable sensor, even taking out the negative emotion aspect of sensing, which he wouldn't be able to sense anything here for negative emotions. The fox, though, is a sensor. Like it can draw in nature energy on its own, which means it can still find Naruto because the chakra sensing doesn't fall under the line of the five senses. So sensor ninjas are probably among the few who have at least not immunity, but some workaround for Kyoka Suigetsu, which is partly where Orochimaru is going to come in a little bit later. So eventually, Naruto, wrestling god, all that sage mode, puts the fox in his place, gains access to the fox chakra mode, Kurama mode. Well, first Kurama mode version 1, and there you go. Obviously, then Killer Bees, Samahata Kisame is found out. Naruto and him take care of him. He gets taken care of, and bites his tongue before they reveal who Madara really is. And yeah, so Naruto eventually would join the fight. Now Manda would probably try to would probably try to attack the turtle still. Mind you, this is not Manda 2.0. This is just Manda. And yeah, it would probably hurt the turtle, but the question is, who's showing up there? Orochimaru or Kabuto? In fact, why, if anything, would they be showing up there to begin with? Well, this cuts back a little bit to kind of the meeting of the minds, if you will. So, this is where Orochimaru and Kabuto, again, Kabuto's an Edo Tensei here, would basically make their move. They'd find Obito, they'd offer him the deal that Kabuto originally offers him. And yeah, like Obito would be stupid not to take this. So, but they's like, we're going to need something. Yes, indeed. I do believe Yamato is on that island too to try to help keep the Nine Tails suppressed. He, in theory, could get caught. Well, let's hold on that for a second because there's a third party coming into play here. Shortly before Orochimaru and Kabuto showed up, Obito mentions, I was like, interesting. You're not my first visitor in the last few days since my declaration. It's like, oh, and then they hear the tapping of the cane, and there's Danzo with not all of his root members, but a chunk of them, including Torune and was it Fu? Was that the name of the Yamanaka? Or Fui? Either way, there's Danzo basically hightailed it out of Konoha the best he can. Like he's not going to be able to get the position of Hokage going this route. He's just not going to. And so he is. So we cut to a scene of, it seems I finally found you, Madara, or do you prefer the name Obito? And, so, and then that would be like, how did you know? It's like, you really think I am Danzo, the Hidden Leaf? You think with all my resources I couldn't put two and two together? There was enough, or it could be like, there was enough evidence presiding that for me to form a theory. But given the extra information we've learned recently, I decided to go with the educated guess. Of course, your reaction is what confirmed it for me. He didn't know. He had a suspicion based on the information they had, but yeah. Now, is that realistic? Could Danzo have actually figured out that Toby was Obito? Is like there enough evidence present based on like intel on this person that he could have figured that out? The idea that he had a Sharingan, okay, that definitely would narrow it down. The fact that he wears a mask, he hides his identity. Okay. The fact that he's calling himself Madara, that would be the thing that would maybe raise an eyebrow for Danzo. Madara, he died years ago, and if he's Madara, why is he hiding his face? That's the thing. I think, not to mention that the only eye Sharingan you technically ever see with him is the left eye, which Kakashi does not have. Now, he does have another Sharingan in his eye when he uses Izanagi, but that's because he has all those Sharingan in his lab, so he can just use a Sharingan if he needs to. But, yeah, is there enough evidence to suggest he could have done it? I'd say there's enough evidence to suggest it's possible. And for the sake of this story, he didn't truly figure it out. He played a suspicion and wanted to see the reaction when he said the name. And then it's like, then you know, I can kill you, and then I know exactly what you did, Don. So explain why I should let you live, because you don't care what I did. No, in fact, from what I'm told, you actually helped orchestrate it, didn't you? You helped Itachi with that little endeavor we gave him, didn't you? To which Obito actually kind of chuckles it. You called my bluff on that. However, I still can kill you if I wish. But then you'll never know why I decided to seek you out. Very well. I want to give you the Nine Tails. And so, Obito cut back more to that present moment. It seems you, me, and Danzo all have something in common. We all want something from the leaf. I want the Nine Tails. You want Sasuke Uchiha, and he wants the seat of Hokage. I believe if we were to play our cards right, we should be able to find a reasonable agreement or a reasonable arrangement. You forget I've known Danzo longer than you. I know that he cannot be trusted any more than I can be trusted. So tell me, why should I agree to this? To which Danzo said, "Tell me, Orochimaru, do you really think you have a better option at this time?" You conniving old warhawk. Very well, let's talk terms. And so we cut now back to Manda attacking the turtle. But the turtle sorry, not the turtle. But who is it? I think it's actually Kabuto coming in. Orochimaru right now is staying with, well, no, actually, let me take that back. Sorry, I got distracted by something, a noise downstairs. I could actually see Orochimaru maybe being the one, because maybe he's trying to collect Naruto, but I think maybe he holds off. So yeah, I think maybe he sends Kabuto. Being an Edo, he can only be sealed, he can't be killed, and therefore I can still see them snatching Yamato to strengthen the Zetsus. So that brings us into the actual war effort itself. Kabuto and Orochimaru would be doing the Edo Tensei shtick, both of them doing their own Edo Tenseis. Danzo, though, would also be doing his own thing. He'd be more or less kind of sabotaging units, having his own root members within the units. Now, that being said, he is probably hanging back also with Orochimaru and Kabuto because he doesn't want to be on the front lines if he can help it. Look, Danzo might be a bit of a fraud, but he's not weak. It's just he went up against Sasuke at a time where it's like, this is not a good time to be going up against Sasuke. So, yeah, granted, he's nowhere near probably where his peak was in terms of like his chakra capability, his physicality, even with the Hashirama cells and extra Sharingan in there. But his Wenjutsu was impressive. I'll give him that. He's got good wind release. So the war starts, and it would start to go the same for a while. until they note that the Zetsu, and the Zetsus have orders. They do have the commands. Do not attack the Rootenin. The Rootenin, and the Rootenin probably do designate themselves with like a special marker or something like that. So when they start attacking allies, the White Zetsu know, so this is one of them. Interesting. Now, not Sasuke. Where is Sasuke in all this? I do think he probably gets lumped with Kakashi, but he's easily taking out Zetsu's swordsman, whatever. It's when like a root ninja tries to sneak up on Sasuke that the Susanoo ribcage comes in. What were you trying to do now? Sasuke, like, seriously, what were you trying to do? Kakashi! It's like, what? And basically, they use, they interrogate him with the Sharingan. Now, because of those curse marks on him, they're not going to be able to get as much information straight about Danzo. However, that doesn't mean they can't get information about what's going on. You're a member of the Root. Where is Danzo? Unfortunately, I can't tell you anything about Lord Danzo. And he's like, we're sworn to secrecy. And it's like, then she basically, fine, tell me everything that's not involving Danzo, that Danzo's doing, or that everyone else is doing, and explains the Orochimaru Kabuto part, Obito part, including the reveal that it is Obito, which shocks Kakashi to his core. Like, no, that's not possible. He's Obito. What? How? It's like, beats us. Somehow that kid lived. He was a teammate of yours, wasn't he, Kakashi? Well, that's unfortunate. So Kakashi, kind of just is that everything? Or basically, he says, "Is that everything, Sasuke?" Yeah, I think it's everything. Good. Just kills him because immediately it's traitors, treason. They never right to kill him. So the war continues on, but now it's like we have to watch out for the Rootenin as well. It's like, Rootenin in here? What? And it's like, Danzo has betrayed the village. He's made an alliance with Orochimaru and the fake Madara. Fake Madara. So you know who he is? I do. And I'm going to find him. And so, but obviously Obito comes out with his 6 paths, his Jinchuriki paths. It's Rinnegan. He's going, doing his own thing. Naruto and B eventually join the fight. Kyoka Suigetsu, he's using Kyoka Suigetsu against the Zetsus and quickly taking them out. And eventually he does get to Itachi and Nagato along with Killer B. And he uses Shadow Kyoka Suigetsu again, make sure he's got them under the illusions. Now this is important. Did Itachi ever implant Koto Omatsukame? Did he ever implant it into Naruto in this version? And unfortunately, in this version, the answer would be no. So, we know he does still have access to that eye in that command. What can he do? Can he try to use it against Naruto? Well, unfortunately, Naruto just cuts off his senses again, just as he did before. In fact, he just shuts down Nagato and Itachi's senses. At least the sense of sight. And I see. But well done, Naruto. You blinded me again for a second time. Even in death, I can't see. But that's not going to be enough unless you're able to seal us away. I was like, well, how do we do that? There is another option. And here's the thing. He could send a crow. Naruto, you're going to have to trust me on this. I'm going to attack you with crows. I'm going to attack you with my ravens now. But they'll come at you no matter what. But I'm going to be sending something directly. When the raven reaches your face, just open your mouth. It's like, what? It's like, do it! And so it's like, fine. It's like, it's like, what? And then it reactivates. That's how he pretty much does it. It's like, what? I see Itachi was too strong after all. I'm free. And then he releases or he gives him his sight back. And so Naruto sends a clone with him, I imagine, for Kyoka Suigetsu. With Kyoka Suigetsu. But they managed to eventually put Nagato down fairly easier because Nagato's senses are rod from him right now. And, they head out. Eventually Sasuke does, in fact, run across him. Itachi! It's like, hello, little brother. I'm sorry, Naruto, what's going on? It's like, I'll tell you on the way. And so, tell you away, and he explains it. Itachi, I've learned a lot about what happened. And I know you have, brother. And the question is, does he know more? Probably not. He didn't get the Obito, spiel. Like, he doesn't know, like, Danzo was responsible for a lot of it. Same with the elders. Excuse me. But he's still, I know what you did was terrible. I know this, but I still can't forgive you completely, and I'm not expecting you to. I'm not sure if I can forgive, I'm not sure if I can forgive Konoha for making that, ordering that to happen. And yeah, I think he probably knows at least a little bit about that. It's like, Sasuke, Naruto, this is between me and my brother. You, no, I'm not leaving. You don't have a choice. He just pops him out. And so Naruto is like, damn it, Sasuke. It's like, and sends another clone that way. Meanwhile, Naruto and the gang meet up. The fake Madara shows up. Naruto doesn't, using Kyoka Suigetsu gets the Raikage. He does get Madara, I think, but right now it's not a big deal because of giant meteors falling, and Naruto doesn't really have the technique to help. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Danzo and Kabuto and Orochimaru just kind of like perk up. Seems we have visitors. It's like, Orochimaru, I see. So, this is your doing after all, and you, Danzo. I see. So even in death, you're a nuisance, Itachi. You nuisance. You betrayed the village. You betrayed our home, my home. You would sacrifice everything, the Nine Tails, my brothers, all for your ill-gotten gain of power. What I do for the village. You do it for yourself, Danzo. I do not need to be lectured by a man who murders family. And to which Sasuke, you're going to die here, you traitor. Traitor. We all die eventually, boy. But unfortunately, your time will be coming a little sooner than later. Remember our deal, Danzo. Sasuke dies. I will take, and not only kill you, but you will never see the Hokage seat. You'll not only never see the seat of Hokage, you'll never leave this cave alive. And so, they square off. And really, it's going more in Itachi and Sasuke's favor more than anything else. It's like, yeah, Sasuke. He's trying to put a curse mark on, but Sasuke at this point is way too powerful even for Orochimaru, and they're struggling. That's when Naruto basically shows up. The Naruto double calls it. Naruto, there you are. Shatter, Kyoka Suigetsu. I see. Controlling my senses again, are you? And beware, Danzo. It seems this boy has a jutsu beyond even genjutsu. Something completely different. Even now, we might not even be seeing the real him. Perhaps you're not, and the Narutos are starting to appear. Perhaps I'm everywhere and yet nowhere, Orochimaru. All you need to know is I'm going to gut you. No, Naruto, we cannot kill him. It's like, what? What do you mean we can't kill him? Or if we kill him, the jutsu will not be undone. We need to force him to undo the jutsu. Don't forget Kabuto as well. And unfortunately, you can't kill Kabuto either, seeing as he is one of my Edo. He is also an Edo Tensei of his own. I think, my, seems you're in a bit of a bind here, aren't we? And you seem confident, Orochimaru. Perhaps I found a way around your genjutsu, Naruto. Or your jutsu, Naruto. After all, controlling all five senses is grand and all. But what about the rest of the world? And he just closes his eyes. Perhaps we should take a look. Perhaps we should look beyond our eyes. And so it's like, Naruto's like, what's he doing? I don't care. Rushes in. And Orochimaru dodges it. What? How in the Rasengan? It's like, what? So, you wondering how I was able to overcome this technique, Naruto? All five of my senses, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, under your control. You can make me see or even feel anything they want, whether it be real or not. However, what if I'm able to use my senses beyond the five? What are you even talking about? Essentially, what he did was using a combination of sensory techniques, which aren't part of the five senses, like chakra sensing, and using using kind of like Daredevil sensing. Like, he's basically making a 3D map of the world around him as he's moving around. kind of like, yes, like sounds are still being controlled, but echolocation creates vibrations. And essentially, he picked up this from like the sound village and the sound manipulation techniques. And so he can basically fight without using his five senses, which is insane. And so the fight continues for a while, and it's to no avail. Eventually, though, the Edo Tenseis do get released. Eventually, though, the real Naruto, don't forget, finds Obito, catches him, and their fight goes down for a while. It is about the same, though. Mind you, he's also fighting the Edo Tenseis. So they technically are seeing what he's seeing thanks to the Rinnegan, which is a little annoying to say the least. Because technically that means they're all under Kyoka Suigetsu as well, but it's still a lot of tail beasts, and he's struggling. Eventually, the Nine Tails does give him the power to fight back. And then the Shinobi Alliance pops up. Using Kyoka Suigetsu, he's able to definitely one-up Obito to certain degrees. But you might be wondering where all this is kind of going. Okay. Eventually, I do see Danzo and Kabuto, Danzo just getting killed. Eventually, Sasuke kills him, and Danzo's like, no, not like this. Itachi Amaterasu. And just, no, I never was able to catch you, Hashira Hiruzen, and then just blows up kind of the cave. Edo Tensei Kabuto has to kind of reform. Obito or Orochimaru is taken by surprise, and Naruto utters a word. Now it's a word. And all I'm gonna say is he utters Bankai, but we're gonna hold on that because it's not really important for in here. Well, no, he wouldn't utter Bankai. He would not do that. At least not against Obito, because he's still fighting Obito. But I have a feeling he would. No, I have a feeling he would do it. And this ultimately causes the release of the Edo Tensei as well, because now Orochimaru is more controllable, all that, and other genjutsu as well. But Madara basically says, no, I'm not going to, and basically survives. And then Madara ultimately becomes the big bad at the end. And leading into Kaguya. Naruto again. Now, Naruto is probably tired out, the real Naruto. And, you know, he does probably get taken down temporarily by the Madaras as well. By Madara. Can't remember who was actually going after the fox at that point. I think it was Obito? No, it was Zetsu? Either way, Naruto is probably on death's door. They meet the six paths. He, gets stage six paths mode. I do see Madara still making it through all this. And that's when Kaguya shows up. Naruto, again, would have her on the Kyoka Suigetsu. They would get sent to the other dimension. Kaguya is very sad about this. Naruto just says, enough, please, don't do this. You don't have to do this, please. Like, Naruto tries to talk her down. It's like, yeah, this is for all. This is the only way, you understand. The only way for me to love my boys the way they need to be loved. The only way for me to love this world as it should be loved. Or whatever our argument was, to be honest. It's like, very well then. It's like, you forced this onto yourself. And he pulls out his blade and he says, Bankai, Kyoka Suigetsu, Ryozen Gaiden, I believe that was the name I gave the Bankai's name. And Kaguya would be struggling against Naruto just because her senses are like all out of whack. But now it's like, what is this? The true power of the Uzumaki. My Bankai, my Shikai controls all five of your senses. And my Bankai, however, goes a different route. And what is that exactly? And so, Naruto's just kind of staring her down. It's like, boy, I shall. And then just throws the, throws the ash bone, only for the ash bone to just poof, return into it and start dissolving her. She has to fight it off. Rip parts of her flesh off her chest. What was that? She fires the giant floating hand at him, and all of a sudden, what is going on? My Bankai doesn't control the five senses. It controls your own personal reality. Everything you perceive, every action you do is under my control. Even if you do an attack against me is useless, because all you'll be doing, because I can choose where the attack will go, what your actions are actually going to do. My thoughts are my own. You, and she's just firing like every attack, and they're all starting to just hit her back. She's not even aware that even though she's looking at Naruto, she's like aiming the attack at herself. Essentially, I think Kyoka Suigetsu is kind of a weird mix of a reality warping Zanpakuto and a mind control Zanpakuto. Like, she's not even aware her actions are being controlled. That's how that's how it's kind of going right now. And eventually she freaks out, has her ultimate freak out. They seal her away. It's all well and good. So the Sasuke and Naruto have a fight at the valley at the end. Probably not, if I'm going to be honest. Even though Sasuke did learn more about what happened that night, he didn't have the same road of hatred he didn't go down the same road of hatred he did in the original. And therefore, without that same road of hatred, he just doesn't have, I think, it doesn't make sense for him to try to go after the village. In the end, it's all well and good. Everyone goes back to their day jobs. Naruto and Sasuke get to keep their arms. You would get Naruto the last movie. Naruto would pretty much own Momoshiki, to be honest. Not Momoshiki, sorry, Toneri. He'd own Toneri in a fight. Even with 6 best chakra and some extra sensory abilities. Again, Bankaiing him again with Kyoka Suigetsu, Ryuzen Gaiden would just one-up him, and then him and Hinata, Kisi, get together, have Boruto and Himawari. Woohoo, wonderful. Sasuke and Sakura also probably have a kid. Although Sasuke, they have Sarada, but Sasuke probably doesn't have to leave the village. He's not like walking around looking for atonement. So yeah, that is where the series ultimately comes to an end. Now real quick, Danzo's killed. Is Orochimaru killed in the long run? No, because again, Sasuke got saved by Kabuto. I think it's the same with Orochimaru here. Or he gets saved by Orochimaru. Furthermore, I could totally see Orochimaru. Mind you, one problem I didn't bring up here is that the Kages would not, in theory, be back. Unless Orochimaru pre-planned this prior to bring the Kages back into the fight. But in which case, then the 4 Kages would already be back. So, without the Kages there, does everything go about the same? Well, not exactly. Minato being there is very difficult, which means Naruto doesn't get the other half of Kurama, which isn't good. But Kyoka Suigetsu can pull a lot of the weight of the Hokages in that fight, because let's be honest, the first pinned the 10 tails down for a little bit. The second and the fourth did use Flying Raijin. Okay, they didn't ultimately mean much, except give an opening for Guy, I guess. And fourth, the big and the third kind of got taken out pretty quick. And then the fourth does bring the other half of Kurama with him. So there is that. So if the fourth is not there, does anything of what I just said even happen? I think, yeah, I still think you would probably talk to the Sixth Sage. Sage 6 Bats. I think it still happens. But it might not happen in the same way it did originally. So, okay, I did forget to factor that fact in, I will admit. But it still likely would probably reach some version of what had just happened there. But that's either here or there. Either way, though, that's my thoughts. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. And join us on Wednesday for the next Naruto What If. I believe it's Naruto Resurrection, and it's Baragon's Resurrection, which, as a lot of people kind of pointed out, this is going to be a short one compared to other ones. So we'll wait and see what happens there. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.